Alright, I'm finally ready to create an IRA. I can do this. I got this. Nothing can stop me. All I've got to do is click here, here, and... Roth or traditional? Uh-oh. Tax deductible. Contribution restrictions? May limit your eligibility. No! Wait. Oh, thank God. While the choice between a traditional and a Roth IRA is often seen purely as a question of tax rates, there are 6 big reasons why I think the Roth IRA is the way to go for most people. First, unlike a traditional IRA where you'll face penalties and taxes for withdrawing money in the account before age 59 and a half, with a Roth IRA, you can withdraw your contributions at any time without penalties or taxes. By contributions, we're talking specifically about the money you put into the account, not any additional value that the account has grown by. So if you contributed $20,000 into the account over the years, and the account has grown to $30,000 thanks to your investments going up in value, you can take out the $20,000 that you contributed into the account with no penalty. Of course, it's still wise to keep the funds invested for retirement, but the flexibility of accessing your contributions in emergencies or other unexpected situations can be a real game changer. If you're comfortable with it, this may even mean that you don't need to keep as much money in your emergency fund, and you can instead use that money to invest even further. Another significant advantage of a Roth IRA is reducing uncertainty around future tax rates. With a traditional IRA, you receive a tax deduction upfront, but you'll pay taxes when you withdraw the funds during retirement. However, the tax landscape can change over time, and it's challenging to predict what future tax rates will be. With a Roth IRA, you've already paid taxes on the money you put into the account, so regardless of future tax rates, your withdrawals will remain tax-free, and you always know exactly what the account is actually worth. This can provide peace of mind and help you plan for retirement more confidently. Not only that, but we currently have record low tax rates, and many believe that it's almost inevitable for tax rates to go back up in the future. So it's comforting to know you have some money that won't be taxed regardless of what happens to future tax rates. Next, having a Roth IRA gives you the added benefit of tax diversification. You see, when it comes time to retire and start taking money out of your 401k, Social Security, and other investments, you want to be in a position where you are pulling out as much money as you need to live while also minimizing taxes. And how do you do that? Well, I think the best way to explain this is using a very simplified example of a progressive tax system, which is what most countries, including the US, uses. I'm going to be throwing some numbers on the screen, so bear with me, as understanding this will be hugely important for your future success. Let's say tax brackets when you retire are set up something like this. The first $10,000 of income is taxed at 0%, meaning you pay no taxes at all on this income. Then, the next $20,000 of income is taxed at 10%, followed by any income after that getting taxed at 20%. Let's also assume in this example that you plan to withdraw $50,000 per year in retirement. If all $50,000 of your income is taxable, you would pay nothing on the first $10,000 of income, pay $2,000 on the next $20,000 of income, and then pay $4,000 on the last $20,000 worth of income, totaling $6,000 in taxes and leaving you with $44,000 after taxes. If you instead took out $30,000 from your taxable income sources, such as a traditional 401k, and $20,000 from non-taxable sources, such as a Roth IRA, you would instead pay nothing on the first $10,000 of taxable income, pay $2,000 on the next $20,000 of taxable income, but pay nothing again on the remaining $20,000 that you pull from your Roth IRA. Ultimately, you still would have pulled out $50,000, but you are now left with $48,000 after taxes, as you are able to use a mix of taxable and non-taxable income in retirement. This would only be possible if you had a mix of both taxable and non-taxable income, and typically, you'll have a lot more taxable income sources than non-taxable income sources, giving us another reason why the Roth IRA is a great option. This leads us to the next reason why Roth IRAs are great, and that is because they don't have required minimum distributions, or RMDs. With a traditional IRA, once you reach the age of 72, The IRS forces you to start taking a certain amount of money from your account each year. This takes away from your ability to optimize your withdrawals and minimize taxes, as discussed previously. Also, you might be forced to sell off your investments at a time when the economy isn't doing well and your investments are down in value. Thankfully, Roth IRAs don't have this requirement, giving you more flexibility and control over when you get your money. Do you know who else loves flexibility and control over their money? Your heirs. That is, if you think you might be leaving some money for them. As in most cases, it's beneficial for your spouse, children, or whoever to inherit a Roth IRA rather than a traditional IRA. Roth IRA withdrawals are still tax-free for beneficiaries, and they will get all the benefits we've already discussed about Roth IRAs, which will preserve more of your wealth for future generations. Lastly, we do have to talk a bit about tax rates, but not for the reason you might be thinking. As a quick reminder, a Roth IRA is generally better if you are in a low tax bracket, while a traditional IRA is generally better if you are making bank and are in a high tax bracket. But here's the thing, if you have an employer retirement account like a 401k, you only get the full tax deduction from a traditional IRA if your income is less than $73,000. So if you're in a high tax bracket, you wouldn't be eligible for the traditional IRA tax deduction anyways. So the traditional IRA is basically not even accessible to the people who would benefit the most from it. And how does that make any sense? Well, from the government's perspective, it makes perfect sense. They don't want all the high earners to be avoiding taxes, so they put limits on who can benefit from a traditional IRA. There is a separate strategy called a backdoor Roth IRA, which allows people above the income limits of a traditional and Roth IRA to still contribute to a Roth IRA, but that's its own topic for another day. With that said, if you haven't watched my previous explainer video on IRAs, make sure to check that out as I go more in-depth on IRAs and how to get started investing in them. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and if you're new to this channel, subscribe for more 5-Minute Finance.